Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Doreen here on Monday afternoon, November 25th. Well, two big storms will have an impact on much of the nation over the next several days. Of course, this is a very important week with respect to the weather and travel conditions. Wednesday being the biggest, heaviest travel day of the year. Looks like an initial storm will produce a wide area of significant snow from the Rocky Mountains all the way to the upper part of the Midwest over the next couple of days. Basically a track from Denver to Minneapolis, similar a track where there was significant snow about a month or so ago, and it looks like, again, significant snow beginning later on tonight, tomorrow, and continuing for the next couple of days all the way up to the upper part of the Midwest. Meanwhile, there'll be a second storm that becomes a powerhouse storm. It slams into the California, Oregon coastal section late tomorrow night, early Wednesday. That storm will intensify quite dramatically in the 24-hour period before making landfall late tomorrow night. Looks like it'll have some damaging, perhaps hurricane force winds along coastal sections of Oregon, California. By the middle part of the week, significant rainfall along those coastal sections, and inland significant snow, easily more than a foot, for example, in the Sierra Nevada range by the middle part of the week. Ultimately, that second storm that slams into the California-Oregon coastal region later tomorrow night, ultimately it works its way all the way across the country and could very well result in some significant ice and snow in the northeast U.S., perhaps parts of the mid-Atlantic region over the upcoming weekend. Let's start off by looking at the 7-day forecast map from NOAA, and virtually every part of the nation gets impacted by precipitation. The only exceptions being central and southern Florida and maybe a little section here in eastern Washington. But notice significant precipitation in the Mississippi Valley region. Much of this from the Rockies all the way out to the upper part of the Midwest will be in the form of snow. Again, that initial storm, significant accumulating snow over the next couple of days from Denver to Minneapolis. Look at all this precipitation across the eastern part of California, the Sierra Nevada range. That in the form of snow from that second powerhouse storm that slams into coastal sections of California and Oregon with significant wind and rain, and easily more than a foot of snow in the Sierra Nevadas by the middle part of the week. So a lot of activity over the next several days. Well, let's now walk through the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast maps from the very latest 12Z GFS model run. First of all, starting off the afternoon here with a lot of blue here, lower heights to normal. This is the wave for that will cause that initial storm here, the first storm, which will result in significant snow from the Rockies all the way to the upper part of the Midwest. Watch what happens here. It dives to the south and east, intensifies, and by this time tomorrow will be snowing across Denver, and it looks like ultimately all that snow goes towards Wisconsin and Minnesota. And here we are by tomorrow evening, Tuesday evening. Notice as this starts to pull out of the Rockies into the plains, another very, very impressive upper level feature here showing up near the California-Oregon border. Again, this will result in a storm that will intensify tremendously in the 24-hour period before it makes landfall late tomorrow night, early Wednesday, near the California-Oregon border. Perhaps a bombogenesis classification, which meteorologists determine as deepening by 24 millibars in a 24-hour period. Indeed, that's what could happen with this system. Let's push forward here into the day on Wednesday. Snow across the upper part of the Midwest. Deep upper level low over California. Now, once that moves inland, it'll gradually weaken, but we'll still have a big, big impact, not only in California and Oregon, but all the way across the country into the upcoming weekend. As we move forward on Wednesday, this initial wave slides a strong cold front through the mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. later Wednesday night. Ahead of that frontal system, the winds will become quite strong out of the southwest, and then very strong northwesterly winds in the northeast U.S., in the mid-Atlantic region Wednesday night going into the day on Thursday. Forget about balloons in the Thanksgiving Day parade Thursday morning in New York City. The winds will just be too strong. Again, the wind in the mid-Atlantic and Northeast will be the big story with this initial wave, not the rain. There will be some shower activity, but not a significant rain event. Very strong winds, though, Wednesday night into Thursday. Meanwhile, here is the California storm, and it actually will slide to the south when while a strong upper-level ridge builds over the Mississippi Valley here into the day on Thursday. And then this system out in the west slowly pulls to the north and east. And notice its position right here by Saturday morning, kind of over the northern plains here. And it ultimately will actually drop a little bit to the south and east as it is influenced by that departing ridge. And watch it movement here. It dives to the south and east, really from this area down to here. And why that's significant is the fact that it dives to the south and east is partly as a result of a very cold air mass that will be building into the southeastern part of Canada by the end of the work week. High pressure in that region, and ultimately that could result in significant ice and snow, at least for portions of the northeast U.S. mid-Atlantic region over the upcoming weekend. Well, now let's walk through the surface forecast maps. Again, the very latest 12Z GFS model run. Not much going on at all today in the mid-Atlantic region or the Midwest. In fact, today and tomorrow will be quite nice days here. But now let's start to move forward here into the overnight hours, and by Tuesday morning, snow. Places like Denver, Boulder, throughout southeastern part of Wyoming, and that will extend all the way into the upper part of the Midwest, into the middle part of the week. And here comes that powerful storm into the California, Oregon area by late tomorrow night time frame. Again, this storm will be intensifying rapidly right before its landfall. Hurricane force for winds are the likely result across coastal sections of Oregon and California. Look at this. Meanwhile, we have significant snow on Wednesday. This is the travel day across the upper part of the Midwest. And this is a time where a frontal system will start to approach the northeastern U.S. Again, not significant rain event, but there'll be some showers and some strong southwesterly winds Wednesday afternoon, and that will shift to a northwesterly flow of air Wednesday night going into the day on Thursday following the frontal passage. And those Wednesday night, Thursday morning winds out of the northwest will be very strong in the I-95 corridor region of the Mid-Atlantic, in the northeastern part of the nation. Again, balloons not going to work in the northeast U.S. on Thursday. Look at this tight pressure gradient around this system. Still snowing significant, by the way, across the southeastern part of Canada. Meanwhile, let's kind of shift back to the west here. That powerhouse storm that slams into California and Oregon starts to make a move out into the middle part of the nation. Here we are now by Friday morning here. Strong storm over the Rocky Mountain states. Now notice here, talked about this earlier, strong cold high pressure and cold air mass kind of sliding into the southeastern part of Canada at the end of the work week, and that'll play a role as this system kind of runs into a brick wall here in the atmosphere over the northern plains and then kind of slides back to the south and east. Cold high pressure situated over southeastern Canada by the time the weekend begins, and that's when trouble could begin across the mid-Atlantic, northeast U.S. We're talking Saturday night, Sunday time frame for the potential snow and ice. Look at this here. By Saturday evening, all of this is predicted to be by this run of the GFS in the form of sleet, freezing rain across upstate Pennsylvania, all the way down really to the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, and then some snow on the north side here across New York State by early Sunday. Ultimately, it does change over to rain in the big cities, but there could be some significant snow and ice, at least in portions of the Mid-Atlantic, interior sections of the Mid-Atlantic and northeast U.S., and another big snow event across the Great Lakes region by the time we get into the latter part of the weekend. This will then swing another strong cold front into the mid-Atlantic region by the early part of next week, and that will usher in a very cold air mass for the mid-Atlantic, the northeast U.S. as we begin the new week and the new month of December. So a lot going on over the next 7 days. Two big storms will have a big impact on much of the nation. Strong winds in the mid-Atlantic region and northeast U.S. Late Wednesday night into Thursday. A significant snow event over the next couple of days from the Rocky Mountains all the way to the upper Midwest. And one heck of a storm slams into California, Oregon late tomorrow night into early Wednesday. And that will produce significant winds and rain across coastal sections and very heavy snow across the higher elevations of the Sierra Nevada by the middle part of the week. Stay tuned at PerspectaWeather.com over the next couple of days for updates on these two big storms. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.